जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
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 जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजना
यमुना तीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारी
यमुना तीरावनचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे
जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी श्री राधे
प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिविराजोत्तम श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रीमद वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ISKCON डिप्टी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय श्री राधा रस बिहारी भगवान की जय श्री गौरनिताय भगवान की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees all glories to assembled devotees all glories all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Reading from Canto number 1, chapter number 2, entitled as Divinity and Divine Service, and the text number 15. These are very wonderful shlokas, the series of shlokas which we are seeing right now actually. So these are very much important for the preaching purpose also. If somebody remembers these verses almost from it's almost from 4th month, 3rd actually, from 1.2.3 till the next, whenever we will go there, I will tell you. If we remembers this verse, these are very good for the preaching purpose. So text number 15. Yad anudhyasina yukta
यदनुदासिना युक्त
karma granthi nibandhanam
धर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
chindanti kovidastasya
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
ko na kuryat katharatim
को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम्
yad anudhyasina yukta
यदनुध्यासिना युक्त
karma granthi nibandhanam
कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
chindanti kovidastasya
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
ko na kuryat katharatim
को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम्
yad anudhyasina yukta
यदनुध्यासिना युक्त
karma granthi nibandhanam
कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
chindanti kovidastasya
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
ko na kuryat katharatim
यदनुध्यासिना युक्त
yad anudhyasina yukta
कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
karma granthi nibandhanam
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
chindanti kovidastasya
को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम्
ko na kuryat katharatim
अनुद्यसिन युक्तः
यदनुदासिना युक्त
कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य
को न कुर्यात्
कथारतिम् यदनुदासिना युक्त कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम् यदनुध्यासिना युक्त कर्मग्रन्थि निबन्धनं चिन्तन्ति कोविदस्तस्य को न कुर्यात् कथारतिम्.
Word to word translation. Yad which Anudhya remembrance Asina
Source
Yukta being equipped
with
Karma reactionary
verb
Granthi not Nibandhanam internet Chindanti cut Kovida intelligence Dasya is Ka who Na not Kuryat shall do Katha messages Ratim attention. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. With sword in hand, intelligent men cut through the binding knots of reactionary work, karma, by remembering the personality of Godhead. Therefore, who will not pay attention to His message? Purport. The contact of spiritual spark with the material elements creates a knot which must be cut if one wants to be liberated from the action and reactions of fruitive work. Liberation means freedom from the cycle of reactionary work. This liberation automatically follows for one who constantly remembers the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is because all the activities of Supreme Lord, His Leela, are transcendental to the moods of material energy. They are all attractive spiritual activities, and therefore constant association with the spiritual activities of the Supreme Lord gradually spiritualizes the conditioned soul and ultimately severs the knot of material bondage. Liberation from material bondage is therefore a byproduct of devotional service. Attainment of spiritual knowledge is not sufficient to ensure liberation. Such knowledge must be overcoated with devotional service so that ultimately the devotional service alone predominates. Then liberation is made possible. Even the reactionary work of fruitive workers can lead one to liberation when it is overcoated with devotional service. Karma overcoated with devotional service is called Karma Yoga. Similarly, empirical knowledge overcoated with devotional service is called Jnana Yoga. But pure Bhakti Yoga is independent of such karma and jnana, because it alone can not only endow one with liberation from conditional life, but also award one the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Therefore, any sensible man who is above the average man with a poor fund of knowledge must constantly remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead by hearing about Him, by glorifying Him, by remembering Him, by worshipping Him always, without cessation. That is the perfect way of devotional service. The Goswamis of Vrindavan, who were authorized by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach the Bhakti cult, rigidly followed these rules and made immense literatures of transcendental science for our benefit. They have chalked out ways of all classes of men in terms of different castes and orders of life in persons of the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam and similar other authoritative scriptures. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Harita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vishnuvebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitidamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravananda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. The elderly devotees, the younger devotees, the smaller devotees, and the smallest devotees. Yeah. So, thank you very much for coming and giving us inspiration to speak some Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. And it's a wonderful verses right now which are going on, which is most important for our life, which gives us practical tips for our devotional service, as well as if somebody remembers these verses, these are very important in order to preach someone. Like most of the time people say, see, I've done all my duties, I've taken care of my family, I've done my all duties very nicely, perfectly and honestly. So that is what a karma, devotional service for me. That is what a devotion for me for the Lord. That is what I called as a karma yoga. But what Krishna right now here, Sutta Goswami is saying, Atha Pumbir Dvijasreshta Varnashrama Vivavasya Swanushthitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haridoshna. Whatever may be the ashram or whatever may be the varna you may have, whatever activities you do, after doing those activities very sincerely, the most important thing, the conclusion should be the Hari Santushti and the devotion towards Hari. If you develop that kind of a devotion towards Hari, then that is what considered as a perfect karma yoga, perfect bhakti yoga, perfect jnana yoga. Otherwise, that is nothing but a shama yevahi kevalam. That is just a laborious work which is done by the asses, cats and dogs in this material world. So that's why in each and every thing, time, place, circumstances, events or whatever we think or we do, the most essence of that thinking or doing is a devotional service. If there is no touch of devotional service to any of our activity in our life, then that activity is nothing but a waste of time. Okay, so that's according to the Shastras. So here also, the most important thing is given to us with the sword in the hand. Which sword? Today Srimad Bhagavatam says we should have a sword in the hand. Chalo! Right. So in that way we will take a sword in our Haribol and marching towards all those kind of atheistic people. Not like that. The sword in the hand means the sword of intelligence and the sword of detachment in our hand. What we should do, the intelligent man cuts through the binding knots of reactionary work. That is what karma is. By remembering the personality of God. That Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam is actually the sword in our hand by which the person will cut down the reactionary work. Even if a person does a punya karma, he has to be bound in this material world. Even if you do some kind of a papa karma, you have to be bound in this material world. Only by the undivided devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can get out of the reactionary binding work from this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. Whether you are a grahastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi and you are performing your duties very nicely, still you can't get liberation. That's what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Particularly to having a liberation and to go out of this material world, person should have devotional touch to each and every activity. So that's what it is said. The most important sword is remembering the personality of Godhead, and therefore we have to pay attention towards the message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as well as a person who has that intelligence to have that sword in the hand, cut the reactionary binding work. To such person's message also we should pay lot of attention. Then and then only something will happen in our life. So what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in one of the purport is a very wonderful statement, and I many times quoted it in our Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. That without philosophy, the religion is sentimentalism, and without a religion, the philosophy is a mental speculation. So there are many thousands and thousands of people, those who have their own understandings of religion. According to me, this is what dharma is. According to me, this is what a religious process is. अरे भगवान तो भाव के भूखे हैं प्रभु जी, मैंने तो अपना भाव दे दिया है, ये तो चीज़ें रिचुअल्स थोड़ी मैटर करते हैं करके. But whenever there is a bhav, there is a ritual also, and person will perform that ritual with a bhav. Okay, that's what Krishna thinks. Not only what I like, what I think is a devotional service. It's according to Krishna, what he thinks and what he wants from us, that is what an actual devotional service. So rather, when without understanding a philosophy, without taking any hints from Shastras, If somebody tries to follow certain kind of rituals, that is considered as only sentimentalism. And there is no use of such kind of sentimentalism in the eyes of Krishna. Okay, many times people are not much aware of rituals or much aware of devotional processes like Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These processes are there. Naturally, they are inbuilt in us, but most of the time, how to do it shastrically, that people doesn't know, that person doesn't know. So most of the time, what happens? Many times, ignorance can be excused a little bit. Just like a small child, he or she doesn't know how to do certain things. So we try to teach that child, right? So ignorance can be sometimes tolerated. But even after understanding, if we do certain kind of thing, then there is no way to tolerate it. If a person knows shastrical standard, if a person know how to do certain things very properly, but still he doesn't want to do it or she doesn't want to do it, then there will be no excuse. Just like we know, early in the morning in Brahma Muhurta, we have to wake up and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with very sincere heart without looking at your mobile. But still, many times our mind goes again and again, again and again, again. So although there are certain things which we know, but still it's very difficult to follow. So that ignorance can be excused, but after understanding certain things, if we do it again and again, then it cannot be tolerated by the Supreme Personality of God. Just like in many times, even you have gone through this certain circumstances, there is a one person who is committing certain mistakes. You try to tell that person, whether he is a family member, whether he is a colleague, or whether he is a friend, okay, or she is a colleague or friend. So if he or she is doing again and again same kind of a mistakes, first time what you will do? It's total, oh, it's okay, no worries, okay, no worries, do it better way next time. Then next time again she or he has committed the same mistake, or might be he or she has not remembered what I told last time, or he doesn't remember how to do this seva particularly in the particular way. So I will tell him again. Then he again, third time, he or she again commits that kind of a mistake. What you will do? All those within our heart, all those nice flowery words will come out of our mouth, and we will bathe that person like Sahastra Abhishek, Sahasradhara Abhishek with all those kind of words. It's intolerable. One time okay, two time okay, three time. It's intolerable, because if a person is committing certain kind of mistakes again and again in his life or her life, that means he or she is not sincere in that particular field. So similarly, many times Krishna, if we are ignorant, we can tolerate us. But after understanding a certain things, no meditating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit affairs, it's okay. Outsider people, they doesn't know much. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, spending certain amount of years or months in Krishna consciousness, when we come to know these things are not good, but still we do it again and again, then there is no excuse for that. We have to go through the repercussions of that particular activity. Okay, so religion without a philosophy, understanding a particular philosophy, is actually sentimentalism. And the second one is philosophy without religion is a mental speculation. And especially we Bharatiya people are very expert in that. Each and every one of us consider ourselves to be the philosopher. My God. Those philosophies. Many times it happens that even understanding so much Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita and Bhagavad Gita, most of the time we are speechless, we are answerless. Whatever people are saying, अरे प्रभु जी, ये थोड़ी ना अपना है, खाली हाथ आए थे हम, खाली हाथ जाएंगे, बराबर. भगवान का ही है सब कुछ, भगवान की सेवा में इस्तेमाल करना है करके. And we are like, are you just asking for a kind of, I asked like, प्रभु 30 रुपीज का ये चीज है तो प्लीज गिव मी 25 रुपीज करके. नो 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 नो, मेरी खरीदी ही 25 रुपीज में, हाउ कैन आई गिव इट इन 25 रुपीज, आई हैव टू गिव इट इन 30 रुपीज, है ना. एंड देन आफ्टर दैट अंडरस्टैंड, आप तो मंदिर वाले लोग हैं, आपसे क्या पैसा लेना, है ना, सब कुछ तो भगवान का है. Whenever somebody says this kind of words to me, na, I become very alert. That means he has taken enough of benefit from that particular purchasing actually. So nobody in this material world is so selfless, okay, that they will give all. No, चलो जिस इसमें खरीदारी की है अमाउंट में, उसी अमाउंट में मैं आपको दूँ करके. Might be there are one or two people who are very sincere and wants to give you, nothing bad about it, and we are not blaming each and every person, but most of the time that's the case. Okay, 80 to 90% merchants, we are every day into purchasing, so that's why we know very well. People, they say it, right? Yesterday only we got a 150 rupees item into 80 rupees right? So see, that means what is the purchasing price and what is the benefit they are taking out of it, right? So people, they have their own philosophies, and what they do most of the time, they use that philosophy for their own sense gratification or for their justification. I have to do certain thing in a way which I want. But simultaneously, people should not consider I am like a very bad person or a kind of a selfish person or a business mentality person or a very sense gratificatory person. So people, what they do, they come up with a kind of a philosophy and they try to quote it, considering it to be the, oh, I am such a charitable person, I am such a devotional person, I am such a dharmic person. That's how material world people behaves. You know, there is a very wonderful song. So nothing, as a Vaishnava, we respect each and every person, each and every demigod, and each and every servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So similarly, we worship and we offer our respectful obeisances to Lord Ganesha. But in people, most of the time, their definition of devotion is not selfless. It is always tinged with the selfish motives. So similarly, there was a song many years back. Deva Deva Ganapati Deva तुमसे बड़े कर कौन और तुम्हारे भक्त गणों में हमसे बड़े कर कौन. That's okay. Ganapati is is a worshipable object for many people. So he is the Mangalakari Devata, and those people who are worshipping Ganapati, they consider him to be the ultimate God. That's okay, that's their bhavana, nothing wrong much into that. But within that bhavana also, और तुम्हारे भक्तगणों में हमसे बढ़कर कौन. So that means what? You are taking that brand ambassadorness towards you. You consider yourself to be the highest in the all devotees of the Ganesha, right? But the understanding is that whoever you worship, you have to be the servant and servant of that Lord whom you try to worship. Whether it is Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesha, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, Lord Ramachandra, the ultimate bhavana is actually Das Dasanu Das. But here people definition is completely different because their philosophy is not in line with the religion. Or most of the time the religious processes or rituals which they are following, they are not in line with the philosophy of the Shastras. So that's why both things are very necessary. The religious processes, the religious sentiments along with the philosophy given by the Shastras. Then and then only person will remain balanced. Only religious philosophy, religious sentiments will lead us to emotional turmoils, emotional disbalance, or only giving emphasis towards the philosophical speculations will make our heart dry. if there is no emotions related to it. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is giving here a very important thing. If a person wants to follow only karma, but he will remain only karmi if there is no touch of a devotional service, right? So in order to that karma, if want to transform it, somebody wants to transfer him into karma yoga. That yoga means to join to whom? To Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the dua, the link to get connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, any kind of an activity is a devotional service only. That is what a linking process is. So if somebody is doing a karma, if he wants to join that karma towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has to have a touch of devotional service. Then and then only that karma will become karma yoga and you will become karma yogi. Otherwise, just by following karma or the process of karma, you will remain karmi or karma kandi, not the karma yogi. So many people, most of the time, whenever we do book distribution, we used to ask person, this is Bhagavad Gita, please take this. Oh, I only believe in karma yoga. Are karma yoga not, you believe only in karma kanda and karmi processes. In order to become that karma as a karma yoga, you have to have a process of devotional service and touch of devotional service. That's what Krishna is saying right now, that whatever your occupational duties are there, you have to have a touch of devotional service. Then and then only Hari will become santushta. Otherwise, Hari will not be santushta with that. Just by reading thousands and thousands of books and quoting verses from this, that Upanishad says like this, Purana this says like this particular Bhagavatam says like this, Bhagavad Gita says like this. Thousands of scriptures you have read. But if you haven't developed that attachment to the holy name and the pastimes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that particular jnana will make you hard-hearted. It will make you a speculative philosopher, not the jnana yogi. In order to convert yourself from jnani to jnana yogi, you should have touch of devotional process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Saksham, Atmanam. Any of this process, you have to follow that process and in order to convert that particular karma into karma yoga, jnana into jnana yoga, and out of those, the best is bhakti yoga. The whole and soul, whatever you are doing, you are surrendering yourself to Krishna. Then and then, that's the most highest process. Just like there is a one very beautiful verse. We have just read it actually. Previous few days. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahitukam. Karma is not involved into this karma yoga because that is considered very low. This karmi type of thinking, it is such a low that it is not included. They have included jnana and vairagya into that. But a person who is doing devotional service, undivided, unmotivational devotional service at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that person will get without any second kind of a extra efforts, he will get a jnana and he will have a vairagya also. The most of the time in this material world, the life becomes miserable because of asakti. Most of the time. Asakti to the person, asakti to family, asakti to property, asakti to bank balance, asakti to clothes, asakti to book, asakti to mobile. Each and everything we become so asakta that same things tries to give us a lot of problems, lot of miseries, lot of kleshas, lot of disturbances in our life. Remember one thing, the thing which you are attached, the process which you are attached, the person which you are attached, the circumstances or places which you are attached most, these are the same things or the people or the process or the places are responsible for the most miserable things in your life. They will give you most kind of a disturbances. So what happens is actually we rather taking the control of our emotions and of our own life in our hands, we give it to others. That remote control we give it to others. You just नाचाओ नाचाओ प्रभु नाचाओ नाचाओ माता नाचाओ उसे मते काष्टेर पुतली जत नाचाओ उसे मते. And when they try to dance make you dance on their own strings, then we become miserable. Arey, how they can do it, how she can do it, how he can do it. No, you yourself give it. So rather having this kind of a miserable life, by following this process of devotional service, if we give those strings in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our life will be more sublime, our life will be more happy actually. And what is the basic process in order to give our life in the hands of Krishna? That's what the chanting of Hare Krishna. The basic understanding, basic process, and the first baby step in Krishna consciousness in devotional service is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and especially the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's why one person who chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds very seriously and sincerely, he gets Diksha. What is the translation of Diksha into English language? Initiation. What is the meaning of initiation? We are just starting right now. And so what? I have taken initiation means I have just started my devotional service. So in order to start the devotional service, prerequisite is a 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, 4 regulative principles. People most of the time after coming to devotional service, when they start following 4 regulative principles and 16 rounds, they say this is what it is. Now I am a devotee, okay, because I am following all these things. No, that just a first baby step. We have to go a long distance in order to become a devotee. Of course, in devotional service, the process and goal is the same. Okay, so process is the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, following 4 relative principles, and surrendering ourselves to Krishna. That is the goal also. So we are not saying somebody is following just now the 16 rounds and 4 regulative principle is not devotee because he has to go forward for many things to accomplish in his devotional service. Not like that. But for ourselves, others might consider us as a devotee, but for ourselves, we should always hanker for more and more surrender at the lotus feet of Krishna. Until and unless we don't hanker for that, we will not grow. Just like when we get a nice job, what we do? हाँ, अब तो जॉब मिल गया, अभी इसके बाद जिंदगी में कुछ लेना देना नहीं, बस यही जॉब करते रहेंगे और आगे चलते रहेंगे. ऐसा होता है क्या कभी? What we do after getting job? We strive for, we hanker for promotion, we hanker for increment, appraisals, I should get more higher post. We always hanker for that. Why not the same situation, same condition, same mind setup in devotional service also? Oh, today I am a das. Today I want to become Prabhu. No. Tomorrow I want to become Dasana Das. Day after tomorrow I want to become Dasa Dasana Das. Day after that I want to become Dasanu Das. That is what a promotion in the devotional service. If today I am satisfied with 16 rounds, tomorrow I want to chant 25 rounds. That is what a promotion devotional service. Of course, it is very practical to see if somebody is working or that. 16 rounds is okay. But sometimes like Radhashtami, Janmashtami, Ekadashi, Vamanadvadashi, today, we should have that little baby steps and we should increase a little bit, chant some little bit more round, or during that day we should take out some time where we can utilize that more time in Krishna service. And see, remember, Krishna He says, Ye yathamam prapadyante tam tadeva bhajamyaham. If we take a one little bit baby step towards Krishna, Krishna will take thousands of steps towards us. And Krishna's one baby step is like a Lord Vamandeva's steps. Okay? Lord Vamanadev can cover the entire universe. What Bali Maharaj did? He gave so much, trouble to demigods. He took away every kind of an opulence from the demigods which are considered to be the devotees of the Lord. Okay? And they were like on a footpath. There is no footpath in heavenly planets, but for our better understanding as a Bombaya person. So they came on a footpath. And Lord Vamanadev, what he did? He came, he conquered the entire universe with his 2 steps. What Bali Maharaj did? He just surrendered herself. Atma Nivedanam. Bali Maharaj is actually the personification of Atma Nivedanam. Whatever I have, Lord, it is yours. Even I, myself and my ego will be yours. In front of you, I will surrender everything. That's what the mood of Bali Maharaj was there. And Bali Maharaj, when he surrendered himself towards the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, what Vamandev did? That Nagapash and Varunapash and dragging Bali Maharaj to his courtyard and all those things are okay. But Bali Maharaj offered Vamanadev offered Bali Maharaj the Sutala Loka. Just below our planet Earth, there is a Sutala Loka. And that Sutala Loka is more opulent than the heavenly planet. More opulent than the heavenly planet. And Lord Vamanadev became so happy with Bali Maharaj that he said, don't worry, I will be the personal guard, security guard. Listen, like one day Rasbihari will become so happy with us that the entire security department of ISKCON Goregaon West Temple will be taken care by Rasbihari himself. Kaisa lagega? Of course, we don't have Bali Maharaj yet here. But that is what Lord can do. We just show this much sincerely the surrender towards Krishna. Krishna can be sold out person for us, right? So that is what Vamanadev did towards Bali Maharaj. And what Bali Maharaj wanted, he wanted that Simhasana, Indra's asana. So not only Vamanadev is Sutalalo, not only became security guard, he promised Bali Maharaj that next Manvantara is going to be the Indra. Okay, right now the Purandar is Indra. Next Manvantara, the Indra will be Bali Maharaj. So that is how Krishna reciprocated with a even sincere surrender, a small surrender towards his lotus feet. So today, on the day of Vamanadev, Vamanadev shows us that the ego and arrogance can be dealt with the humility and the intelligence. And even if a simple surrender, Krishna can be sold out person for you. That is what Vamanadev tells us through his pastime. And anyhow, however we approach Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, is there to fulfill our desires. In order to increase our devotion and our surrender towards Him. In that way, He will fulfill our desire. Just like in case of Bali Maharaj or in case of Dhruva Maharaj, He fulfilled those desires. Right? So, on the occasion of this Vamana Dvadashi, of course, we did the fasting yesterday for the Vamana Dvadashi. Today, the fast breaking time, Parana time, is from 10:19 to 10:33. There are different. I have seen like even centers are there different timings. Some they have put it 10:18. Some of them put 10:19. Some of them put 10:21. So best is 10:25 को आप लोग प्रसाद ले करके तब तक के लिए कंटिन्यू करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा सा फास्टिंग, ठीक है। सो इवन आज हमारा जो ब्रेकफास्ट बनेगा, all of you have to stay here till 10:25 or you have to take that breakfast, go your home and then you can relish that Krishna prasadam at your home. Okay, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे। I am very glad that Rohini Mataji and Chandramamshi Prabhu is here online. Thank you very much Mataji and Prabhuji for your kind blessings and your presence here. I am so happy to be blessed here.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
You want to say something?
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Chandramamshi.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम।
Dandavad Prabhuji. We are blessed by your presence, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Whenever I don't hear from a Vrindavan temple, I hear from you.
I hope, Prabhuji, one day those who are all sitting in front of me, they will be sitting here giving Bhagavatam discourses, and I will be sitting next to them, hearing from their Mukharavinda. I will be eager to hear from Mandara Prabhu, Satyanarayana Prabhu, Raghav Prabhu, then Sarthak Prabhu, Montu Prabhu, then here Sunita Mataji, Poonam Mataji is there. Even our small Vedanta Prabhu is there. I hope after 10-15 years he will be the Bhagavad Kathakar. So,
my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas.
We are eagerly waiting for your physical presence and
Yes.
inspection.
As soon as Krishna's arrangement there, we will visit. Krishna willing. We are also waiting. Let us hope.
Yes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.